looking at the functions, grade 10 functions. Lesson 4 will be determining the equations. So we'll be looking at parabola, straight line, hyperbola, and exponential. Now firstly, let's take a look of the parabola, the first one. So here's an example here. That is example 1, finding the parabola. So finding the equation of a parabola when y is equal to ax squared plus q. Therefore, we need to determine the equation here. Okay. So what we're gonna do here is that we're gonna take the first graph, and then we try to determine the equation, that is the unknown variables. Now in the first graph here, so we've got two points here. We've got this one, -2 is to 5. So this is the point on the graph, and then on the other side we've got 0 is to 1. So that 0 is to 1 represent the turning point, and then 0 it is the x value of the turning point, while 1 it is the y value of the turning point. Now by determining this equation, y is equal to ax squared plus q. So it's very easy stuff, because now firstly you need to write the coordinates of the turning point. So before that, I want to highlight this thing here first, that q, it is the y value of the turning point. Okay, it is the y value of the turning point. Now from here, then we take that coordinates, 0 is to 1, and then we say here turning point, which is 0 is to 1. Now it's simply, guys, you just take the y value here, which is 1, and then you put in the place of q. Simple as that. Okay, so that means if now we take this point, so we say that q is equal to 1. So that means in this equation now it says ax squared, but now in the place of q now we're going to write 1. Okay, and then plus 1. You just take that value, guys, as it is. Please do not equate it to 0. No, just take it as it is. Then from here we're done now with the coordinates of which is the turning point. Now we are going to use the point on the graph, which is this one, and then we substitute with that point. So that means from here we're going to substitute with that point. So that point is -2 is to 5. So we're going to use that point, because this one it is x, this is y. So that means in this equation here, so what we're gonna do, in the place of x we're going to put -2, and the place of y we're going to put +5, and then we solve for a. Okay, this is my substitution. Then from here, then you just work it out. We're gonna drop 5, and then we say 2 squared, -2 squared is gonna give us +4, and then plus 1. Because why are we getting positive? Because negative times negative, it is positive. So it is positive, and then 2 times 2 must be 4. So that is why we're getting +4. And then we just transpose +1 to the other side, so it is positive. But when we transpose that one, then we'll change the sign, become negative. Okay, so here we've got 4a. So and then we're gonna say 5 minus 1 must be 4, and on the other side we've got 4, and then we divide by 4 in both sides. So therefore a must be equal to 1. So we just say now therefore the equation, it says y is equal to, must be 1x squared plus 1. But guys, you do not leave this equation like this here, so we do not write that one, but I was just showing you that in the place of a we just put we've just got 1, so and then you just say x squared plus 1. That is the equation. That is the answer for the first one. And then now let's go for this one in the second part. So in the second part, guys, we are going to do the same. You take the turning point. So in that turning point there, it's easy. In the turning point, this value here represents the x value of the turning point. This is the y value of the turning points, meaning that 6 is the value of q. So that means in this equation here, in the place of q, we're going to put 6. And then now to get a, we just use the point on the graph, x in the place of x2, and then we put 4 in the place of y. So simple as that. Let's try now to tackle this one. So maybe I can just now let me just use the space here. So number 2, y is equal to ax squared plus q. Now the turning point in this graph, it is 0 is to 6. So now I said in the place of q here, we're going to put 6. All right, so it's always like that. It's always like that. So that is ax squared plus 6. So that means now we have to use the point on the graph, which is this one now. So we've got 2 is to 4. The next step, we're going to substitute with that 2 is to 4. So in the place of x here, we're going to put 2. In the place of y, we're going to put 4. And then we solve for a, guys. All right. So now we're going to put 4 and then a into 2 and then plus 6. And then we just work it out. So we transpose 6 to this side. It is positive, it will become negative. And then must be a 4. All right, so that is 4 minus 6, definitely it is negative 2. Then when you subtract the 2 times, which they have the different signs, and then you take the sign of the bigger one. And then on the side we've got 4a, and then we just divide by 4 in both sides. Therefore we've got negative 1 over 2. So that is the value of a here. Then you just now conclude by writing the equation. So it says negative 1 over 2 x squared and then plus 6. So this is, guys, how you determine the equation. Now let's look at the third one. Again, guys, this is the turning point. In the turning points, that 8, it is the value of q as it is. After that, you just use the point on the graph. All right, I hope now, guys, you understand. And then now let's go to number 3. So in number 3, for y is equal to ax squared plus q. Now our turning point, it is 0 is to negative 8, and then that negative 8 will come here, and then that means we're going to end up having ax squared and then minus 8. You just take it, guys, as it is. If it is negative, you just put it as it is. And then the next thing is to take the other point on the graph. So we've got 2 is to 8. So we're going to use that point again. Then we say we're going to substitute with that point 2 is to 8. In the place of x here, we put 2. In the place of y, we put 8. Okay. And then from here, we're going to have 8, and then must be a into 2 squared minus 8. And then we're going to have 8 and plus 8. Remember, when we transpose this one, it is negative. Then it will change the sign, become positive. And here we've got 4a. And then 8 plus 8 must be 16. And then we've got 4a. And then we divide by 4 in both sides. And therefore, 4 will nullify 4. Therefore, the answer here, 16 divided by 4, then the answer must be 4. Then you just write the equation. Therefore, y is equal to 4x squared minus 8. In place of x here, then you put a here. All right, that's it, guys.